a lit theater grad of 2012. So I've always been really interested in sci-fi. It's my favorite thing to read. But especially I've been interested in dystopias and utopias. I find that reading about dystopias and utopias, it allows us to get a very unique look at society and kind of look at the structures of society, and it allows us to think, do we want this society? Do we want this utopia? Or do we want to avoid this? Do we want to avoid this dystopia? So in 2012, for my thesis, I created my own utopia. It didn't cover all of society. It was rather about the structure of gender. So I, along with a bunch of other lovely people, created the fantastical genderfuck circus. So, as you can imagine from the name, it was in fact a genderfuck. The story follows Z. Oh yes, all of the characters had their own personal pronouns. So the story followed Z, who is a new being to the world, and comes out and wonders, who am I? And so the entire story of the Genderfuck Circus follows Z's journey to find Z's own identity. So Z encounters a large variety of fantastical beings on its journey, including Goldenrod, who is a bi-gendered dualistic being, who teaches Z how to love. Then there is Mixed Scarlet, who is a gender-bending drag queen who teaches Z to fuck the gender binary and destroy it. And then we have Mama Jade, who represented the Earth as a whole and all of us on it. And then Lazuli, who is a gender-fluid being at peace with oneself. So in the end, Z decides to not choose what gender Z is, and is willing to accept themselves for whatever they may be at the time. And, of course, the other characters accept them as well. So this is my model of gender structure. Complete acceptance and identity independence. This structure, this utopia, isn't exactly feasible in our society today. You see, we depend upon the binary. You are born with male genitalia, you are a male, you are a man, and therefore you are masculine. Or you are born female, you are a woman, you are feminine. It's very black and white in boxes and incredibly limiting and problematic for a growing population. Fortunately, we are starting to get the idea that the binary does not work for many individuals. And so we are starting to move towards a spectrum. This kind of allows for a little bit more interpretation. You don't necessarily have to be all the way male or all the way female, and you can kind of be in the middle, or you can kind of be a little bit of both, and you can do all sorts of things. Something that I really enjoy to help the gender uninitiated is the Genderbread Person. You may have seen this floating around the internet somewhere. It covers a variety of topics like gender identity, gender expression, biological sex, and sexual attraction. I highly recommend you take a closer look at this, share it around to friends and family. It is very helpful. But see, I think that we don't need to stop at the spectrum. I think that it is just the next phase in evolution of gender models. So I think we're going to keep moving beyond it and keep discovering more identities and keep moving forward. This is a tesseract, a 4D cube. I kind of included it as a joke, but then I got to thinking about it a little bit more, and it changes based on your perspective and based on time, which is your gender too. Your gender isn't always going to be the same. It's going to keep changing and keep evolving, and just like this tesseract, it's just going to keep moving. So I think that could be a model for gender. We just got to keep moving. But eventually, I think we are going to get to complete individual identity and identity independence. So how do we make this happen? How do we make this gender utopia? I can already see a few, I can already see us moving towards it a little bit. For example, there's Sweden, who is promoting gender neutrality in its schools with words like hen and buddy instead of male and female. And then California just passed a law allowing, or making schools allow students of non-conformative gender identities to use bathrooms and locker rooms based on their self-identification rather than biological sex. So we're moving towards it, but we have a really long way to go. So I have a few things that I think may help move us towards this utopia. First, I encourage all of you to stop gendering everything. Stop gendering roles, stop gendering people, stop gendering objects. It's unnecessary. I challenge all of you to try using the singular, gender-neutral they for a day, a week, any period of time. Try it out. It's actually more difficult than you think it is. We automatically gender things without even realizing it. So try they instead of he or she. I also encourage you to, if or when you have kids, I encourage you to love your children and accept them for who they are and tell them they can be whatever they want to be. And if they are something crazy, that's totally chill, totally cool. I also encourage you to accept and respect people of all identities. And this doesn't even have to do with gender anymore. This has to do with everyone who is different from you. If you are confused or don't understand why someone is who they are, talk to them, ask them. See them as a human being. See them as an individual rather than something that you don't understand. And if someone doesn't understand you, I encourage you to reach out to them as well and to talk to them about who you are and let them see you as an individual. And then finally, in making our own utopia, I would ask all of you to visualize your own utopia, build your own utopia, and to share it with others. Thank you.